Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
What's going on, guys? It's Filthy and I'm back with another video. Today we're engaging in some Season 22 speculation. Now, last time I did this video it was horrendously late and it came out one day before the PTR patch notes dropped, so we're trying to rectify that, so I'm getting this one in early. We talked about a few of these concepts on stream the other day and some people had some really good ideas, so I thought I'd share them with YouTube. Now, obviously I've got no inside track, I've got no information, this is just complete speculation, but I would like to hear from you, so let me know if you like any of these ideas, let me know what you think the season theme should be, let me know which builds you would like to see buffed in the next patch cycle. Other than that, if you are new to the channel, do consider subscribing. We've pumped quite a bit of D3 content out lately. We're going to maybe move into some other ARPGs in the future, but at the moment, yeah, pretty much Diablo 3 focused. And if you do fancy dropping by Twitch to come say hello, I will leave my stream link in the description. Generally stream about 4 times a week, but the schedule is always in the YouTube community tab. But that's enough waffle and enough self-promotion, so let's jump in and talk about dates. Now, Season 21 started very early in July, around about Independence Day, so that would kind of put the normal end time around about the first week of October. But because we have had a post from the community manager, or one of the community managers, Filthy Rich, it has indicated that this season may well be a couple of weeks longer, just to work in some extra PTR testing time. So that probably would put the end of the season around about mid-October, so somewhere around the 20th, maybe towards the back end. Now, again, if we're working in extra PTR time and extra testing and dev time for the team, then I would expect the next season, so season 22, to start probably around about the end of October, maybe that first week in November. That would fit with the 4-week PTR cycle. We would have enough time for that. So let's say, for the sake of argument, we're going to say first week in November, then that would give us 4 weeks of PTR in around about kind of mid-September time. So I would expect an announcement for PTR maybe in the next week, maybe in the next 2 weeks. Now, first and foremost, the season theme. Now, this last season theme obviously has fallen a bit flat with the community. Most of the people who have popped into my stream have said they don't like it. It's not really doing anything for them, or the mechanics they just aren't fond of. Obviously, some people have been able to, do GR150s and really take advantage of it. But I think for your casual player, the season theme really hasn't been of any benefit. So we are all excited to get our hands on a brand new one. Now, the 3 ideas that we came up with on stream that I quite liked, or things that have cropped up on stream in the past. First one would be a season of legendary gems. So this is one whereby we're going to give either some new legendary gems to the game, because realistically it's only a very small piece of artwork to fit the gem in, or maybe it'll just be a case of taking 4 or 5, maybe 6 of the gems that aren't used or don't really do anything and have them juiced up or have their powers changed. And this could be quite good because it would allow maybe some integration into the main game if any of these gems are popular. So just a few examples: maybe a legendary gem that increases your primal drop rate, maybe doubles it, maybe trebles it. Maybe we can have a legendary gem that gives you, say, 100% extra move speed, really quickening up those speed builds. Maybe you could even work in a previous season theme, so one of the legendary gems, for example, could maybe have the kill streak bonus in it. So if you pop that in, you would obviously get an awful lot of juice out of that. You could do one with a lot of elemental damage, or buffing up maybe a particular skill. There's quite a lot that you could do with it. Now, it may well be the case that it would be better for game balance if these came with a negative effect, so maybe the primal drop rate one would give you reduced XP, so you're giving up your paragon progression to try and find those juicy red beams, the beam of dream. I talk way too much about primals on stream, but I think that would be cool. I'd be quite into that. Maybe the move speed gem could give you a reduction in damage, just so that you're not blistering through everything. You're making that trade-off. Do I want to do a little bit less damage but move at a much faster rate? So that's maybe something. And then again, kill streaks, obviously that was a really powerful season theme, so perhaps maybe you could really reduce the move speed. So there's like a kind of trade-off with these. They're just 3 gem ideas. There's tons of other gem ideas that I'm sure are out there, but you get the idea. We can mix the legendary gems up, have a season of gems. You could also have a little bit of a side project with this, so you could change it so that the gifts actually now work on jewelry, so that we can get that extra socket in there. So amulets, rings, kind of like how it used to do initially when those gifts came out. So that again would be pretty nice. I'd be quite interested in that. Now, the next season idea that somebody came up with on stream, which was really good, is the season of green. Now, I don't mean marijuana. I'm not saying that all the characters should get stoned or anything like that, but I think what would be nice is if the green items in the game, they normally come in like sets of 2 or 3. So I'm talking about set weapons, the Compass Rose, Traveler's Pledge, Focus, Restraint, all that kind of thing. crimsons or gilds. It'd be nice if maybe for one season and one season only we got to only use one of them to get the full set bonus. So that would mean that you could rock your crimsons and our gilds, compass rose, crelms and a weapon and really kind of juice stuff up. Now again, like the legendary gem idea, maybe that would be a bit too much power because you could obviously slam quite a lot into a few builds. Maybe you'd have to have some kind of offset for this, maybe a bit of reduction in damage maybe. But I do think it would be kind of cool because you could fit an awful lot in. Most sets in the game, you'd be able to at least get the belt and braces in, and then if you worked in a rogue, you could open up some of the jewelry slots. So that would be quite nice. Set weapons as well to be able to be used in a different way, so that you could actually stick them, with some extra multipliers on there would be kind of nice. So I think Season of Green, that interests me quite a lot. Again, would mix things up a little bit. Maybe we'll sneak a Blackthorns buff in there, and maybe that will get reworked in the balance patches. So that again could be pretty cool. Be nice to kind of choose between all those different items, which ones you're going to put into your build and which ones you're not. Now I always personally prefer these season themes where the builds you can only play on the season. That's just personal preference, but I would be quite interested in that one. Now the third one is always the most popular. People talk about this all the time when they drop into the stream. That is a season of Paragon Cap. Now personally, I wouldn't go for this. The Paragon Cap doesn't bother me too much. I'm far too casual to be getting involved in that. But a cap at maybe 2,000, something like that, might well interest me. We might well be able to push for it. Maybe 2.5k, I could probably just about bust that out in the season if I put all my chips into it. But it would be a level playing field. I think it would be kind of interesting just to kind of see how everything went if we kind of equalize the Paragon across people. So give everyone the opportunity to get to maybe the 2k figure, and then everybody can have a fair crack at the leaderboards. Now somebody did point out, and this is quite a good point to bear in mind, you would have to have a way of collecting the XP so that when you rolled over to non-season you weren't just stuck with the 2k Paragon. You'd have to keep adding it up, and eventually it would go on to your main character, because otherwise people would just get to 2k and then they would quit, and obviously that would be kind of bad for the game. But they're just three of the more popular ideas we came across on the stream, so by all means stick in the comments any other ideas that you've got, what else you'd like to see. I'd be quite interested to know your thoughts on that. Now as for the balance changes, I personally would like them to change at least one thing for every class. I think it's always a bit of a sad state when you get one of the classes, or maybe more, that get left out. Now the reason I say that is because even though I personally play all the classes, every season I pretty much play all 7, I do know that some people are in love with one particular class and they only play that. So I think let's not leave anybody out. Let's give all the 7 classes something to do. So these are just my suggestions. I'm not going to go through numbers. I'm just going to basically say buff, and obviously it's up to Blizz to work it out. But I'm going to pick a set for each class that I think could benefit from some love. First off, we're going to go Wizard. Wizard is probably in the weakest spot it's been for ages. I'm doing a hardcore Let's Play on Twitch at the moment, and I'm using the Hydra set. Now I think this should get buffed out. This would be my pick for Wizard. It is quite good. It's not complete trash. It's just nowhere near S tier. It's quite tanky with the 80% damage reduction. I quite like the Hydras. I quite like my pet builds. So if we could make the new set, the Typhon's Veil, the biggest and best thing for Wizard, I do think that would be pretty good. Secondary shout, if we're not going to do that, maybe Disintegrate. I do love looking at the Superman beams coming out the Wizard, and yeah, maybe some kind of buff with Firebirds, but pick number 1 would definitely be Hydra. And moving over to my overall favourite class in the game, which is the Necromancer, I think this absolutely hands down for me should be the Tragul's avatar. So Tragul's is a really interesting set. The idea is that you spend life and it increases your damage, and it's just complete pants at the moment. Does not hit hard enough by any stretch of the imagination. I would personally prefer it to be Blood Nova, so maybe we could give Nova some juice, but I do think a Blood Nova Necro would be pretty fun. That is most definitely what I would pick to buff for next season. Now third, Crusader. I think this absolutely has to be Blast Shield. I think this is one of the most fun builds the Crusader has. Again, we've been playing this a lot on stream. It's strong, it's not terrible. Again, we've managed to get this up to 104. I'm hoping to maybe push in a few more rifts past that. But this could be buffed under the Econ set, and also could be buffed under Legacy of Dreams. But throwing your Kiwi slices around, your Captain America shields, your T-bone steaks, your fiery Doritos, whichever way you want to slice this, It's an awful lot of fun to play, and you know, it is Pez Radar's favourite build in the game, so he's another community manager, so you know, fingers crossed on this one. Go on Pez, you know you can box this one off for us. Now fourth, Witch Doctor. Again, I do like pet builds, I do like my minion build, so I probably would go for Helltooth Garg. Now obviously the dream would maybe be something like Zombie Charger, but I can't really see that being touched. And obviously Helltooth is an existing set, Garg's an existing kind of build, it's all there, it just requires a bit of a number change. But something to do with pets, you know, maybe if we could get the Zombie Dog damage up there as well, some kind of way of combining them so that you just have a pure pet build as the Witch Doctor. Gargs, fetishes, dogs, all sorts of stuff going crazy, going ham on the screen. I do think that would be pretty good, so that would be my pick for the Witch Dog. Now Monk, I've got no footage of gameplay for this one because Exploding Palm just hasn't been a thing for a while, so I really haven't played this. I can't even remember the last time I tried playing this. But Ulianas would be great to be buffed. I do think it is a interesting mechanic, kind of detonating your Exploding Palms. Very popular build, I think, from a long time ago, so this is certainly something that I would buff. Now we've got Tempest Rush, we've got Wave of Light, both of those are in a pretty good spot. I'm not sure that either of them need much love, so adding a third option in for Monk I think would be pretty good. Now in terms of sixth, I've left the last two classes as the ones I think need a buff the least. So sixth is Barb. Barb is in an amazing spot at the moment, but my personal favourite all-time build of Barb is Leapquake. I would absolutely love it if this was Barb's top push build. It's always going to be kind of difficult to do keys and bounties with this. Speed drifting you can do with Leapquake, it's just not mega efficient because it's not super quick. But if this was the best push build, then that would be nice. Now obviously there is a maybe slight issue because it's super heavy on area damage, so again I'm not sure if that is particularly wise, but if we could get Leapquake into a really good spot I would love that. So I would basically pick Might of the Earth and try and get Leapquake going, and that's probably what I'd do for Barb. And then lastly, Demon Hunter. I mean, realistically, if we were going to skip out on a single class for any changes, it probably would be the DH, because the GOD, Gears of Dreadlands, is amazing. It's phenomenal for literally everything in this game. And we have also had the Impale buff last season, so DH is in a good spot, but I probably would pick Marauders. I do quite like placing sentries down. Again, it's kind of like a pet build. You probably see a bit of a theme in terms of how I like to play the game, really, in some ways. Again, I think it could be nice that Marauder got a bit of love. Again, it probably hasn't had its day for quite some time, so if this could come back as being a very strong Demon Hunter build, I do think that would be nice. Now in terms of completely new builds, obviously what we're hoping is that there are some extra items or some extra affixes that go on existing items. So Zombie Charger, as we mentioned, for the Witch Doctor would be really cool. You know, Phalanx for the Crusader gets a lot of attention, you know, having those guys doing a bit of damage for you. Again, maybe the same for the IK minions for Barb, that would be quite nice. Revive Necro, again, probably isn't used to. There's absolutely stacks of skills in this game that are really underutilized. So again, fingers crossed if we can get at least kind of one set tweak for every class in the game. If we could get some new item affixes added to the game, that would be extremely cool. So let me know in the comments below, what skills would you like to see buffed? What would you be interested in playing? Now obviously, another hope for everybody, I think, really is probably that the XP masses get shifted around a little bit again. So maybe a slight nerf to rat runs, maybe that can be nerfed a little bit more, or we can find some new ways to do XP involving pretty much every class. I think if every class has got 2 or 3 roles they can fill, so support, RGK, you know, DPS or trash killer, whatever it is, if that can be worked on and can be improved, then again I think this game would be just moving in the right direction, and I'm really hopeful for season 22 and for this next patch cycle. So that's it guys, that's my speculation, that's my thoughts on it. Let me know what you think. What would you do? Let's hope season 22 is going to be a good one, and let's hope the announcement is pretty soon. Other than that guys, do stop by the stream to come say hello. Other than that, I've been the Filthy Casual, and I will see you again in the future. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take it easy. Peace.